It says this is live now.
Love spreads her arms and waits there for the nails. Well, I'll forgive you, boy, I will prevail. And too much to take, some cross to bear. I'm hiding in the trees with a picnic, and she's over there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She didn't scream, she didn't make a sound. I'll forgive you, boy, but don't leave town. Cold black skin, naked in the rain. I'm a flash in the lightning, they're hurting her again. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. I had a dream, I'd seen the light, don't put it out, cause she's alright, yeah, she's my sister.
Now for some powerful healing meditation. The Theta meditation at 528 Hertz. Transformation und miracles. Oh, this is a nice beat. I did not pre-screen this one, clearly. Relax into the show. The show is here for you. I am here for you. Together, we are together. Relax into the show. So, on with the show. What happened was, Peterson dropped something today. Oh, this state of meditation is like hit me in my core chakras.
Still misses the point.
But I got 11 minutes into it.
Okay. Well, without further ado, let's delve into it.
Here. There's a part I want to show you.
My distillation into 5 points of your philosophy. For the people at home, for the people watching, you can find a link in the description if you wanna check it out. Today, I again want to do 5 things, and I'm going to run through them before we start. We're going to do a year review of 2018, in which I just want to hear how you look back on last year, what you've been through, what were the defining experiences. Then we're going to discuss how in identity politics, a collective narrative substitutes the individual experience. And then we're going to leave the physical world and go metaphysical. We're going to discuss the movie Gladiator and why it is so ingrained in my generation's psyche, more so than any other movie of its sort. Then we're going to discuss how to become something approximating the male archetype. And we're going to focus especially on the Jungian notion of individuation. We're going to really delve into that. And final point, we're going to discuss the idea, it's a Jungian idea, that the artist is a portal between the dream world and the collective unconscious on one hand, and consciousness on the other hand.
I wonder if we should reverse the order of the 4th and the 5th.
There we go. That's the part I wanted to show you.
I think that reverse the order.
Conscious on one hand, and consciousness on the other hand.
I wonder if we should reverse the order of the fourth and the fifth.
So start with art and then individuation? All right, I can do that. Noted.
Yeah, I think that'll make a better narrative flow.
All right,
I think that'll
we'll
make a better narrative flow. Because I'm a wizard. And that's what I do. And so watching this, I'll get into it in a second. But it made me think of someone you may know from Rich Planet's astronaut interview. That's where I knew him from. And just let him speak.
Techniques used to discern deception, but also content analysis. So it goes well beyond just saying if someone is lying or not. What are they lying about? Why are they lying? They are to sit down comfortably, choose their own words. They're given bottled water in a comfortable setting. There is no threats. There is no...
He did the astronaut one, and he also did the McCann analysis. I think this may be from the same interview.
Receives a report of an allegation. Someone has stolen. And before any of the interviews or any of the investigation begins, the person who is accused of stealing is told to write out what happened. They are to sit down comfortably, choose their own words. They're given bottled water in a comfortable setting. There is no threats.
Yeah, they get bottled water. The important part is he analyzes interviews and other texts for certain trends, and like having seen those videos from the Rich Planet, when I watch Peterson talk, it's interesting to me on a level. I'm going to try and show you.
Okay.
Well, without further ado, let's delve into it. Year review. I've always wanted to do that. I'm sorry. 2018. What were the defining experiences for you? How do you look back on it? You visited over 100 cities. I can't even name 100 cities, so that's impressive.
Well, I did visit a couple of them twice, but I think it was 115 lectures, and so sums to 100 cities.
Yeah.
The defining features of it. Well, back in January, that's when my book came out, and it was at that point
So I feel like
I
I
started
should put
to
an image of Peterson's head up.
thoroughly realize
Because he's
that
supposed to be here. It's him
there was
talking.
enough of a market for what it was that I was talking about to risk experimenting with
There was a piece.
large-scale venues.
There was a piece.
And I was that I was talking about to, there was enough of a market for what it was that I was talking about.
He says there was enough of a market.
My experience, two experiences. The year before, I had done a series of biblical lectures on Genesis. And I rented a theater in Toronto, more out of curiosity than good sense, let's say. Rented a theater in Toronto, biblical lectures on Genesis. And I rented a theater in Toronto, more out of curiosity than good sense, let's say, to see if there might be an audience for such a thing. And the theater held about 500 people, and I did 15 lectures over the course of a couple of months, and it sold out every time.
Yeah.
Sold out every time.
Well,
so my point I'm trying to make here
as arcane and
is that he goes over his year in review.
And hypothetically outdated as the book of Genesis would draw an audience. And the audience was also primarily...
And he does it in terms of markets, market draw.
Yeah, well, I guess...
It's such a strange thing. Yeah.
And so then... Well, then I went to London. I think I've got the itinerary, the timeline correct. I might mix up a couple of things, but I went to London.
Here's what Papa looks like. But like the point I wanted to make was that he does his own year review in terms of finances.
With a bit of work, approximately at least. Imagine that each person can be placed into 10 identity categories, which I don't think is unreasonable. Actually, the number of categories is limitless.
Yeah.
You end up with no groups. You end up right back to the individual. And so
anyway, that's what he's dressed up as. But he was going over his year in review, and like the stuff this guy talks about made me look at how often he was doing that in terms of finances and markets and selling out. And I don't know, it speaks a lot. And he went into how his daughter got him hooked on CAA for running his tour, and I got flashes of Owen Benjamin saying how evil CAA was, but then good old Matt had a drop. Let me show you some Matt.
Hours and hours, because it helps me collect my thoughts. Pursuing the who, what, when, where, why, and how is another set of false breadcrumbs. I'm convinced of this now. And since the endless research is not worth doing, the way this reality construct is presented, then it's very simple what we should do. So I'm going to read what I wrote, which took me a long time, and it kind of hit me, and I went, wow, this is, I don't know, it's like I'm kind of onto something here, so I just kept going with it, and it came out pretty well. And a lot of people, even in the last video or two, whenever they commented about this, people got upset with me, saying, what do you mean don't try to figure out who did it or exactly how they're doing it to us? What do you mean?
What do you mean, man? Don't try to figure it out. That's what we do here. We figure it out. I wanted to stop and say hi to the chat who people showed up. Adela, hello. Huggle, Scott, thanks for stopping by on your lunch break. I'm just, I don't know. I thought I'd be here for everybody to be here with.
That's just our duties to figure it out, right? No. No. This reality matrix is lined with endless series of rabbit holes and pissed on breadcrumbs for us to follow. Oh, what?
Let me accentuate that, ladies and gentlemen.
No. This reality matrix is lined with endless series of rabbit holes and pissed on breadcrumbs for us to follow. Oh, what did the system leave for us here? Ooh, yum, 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 yum. Whether it be, oh, what did the system leave for us here? An inflated tire at the bottom of the World Trade Center. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Oh, what's this? Tartaria and free energy. I'm not poo-pooing those subjects, like I've said. There is elements of truth.
If you have to say you're not poo-pooing something, you're secretly poo-pooing it.
In all of these subjects, sure, there's free energy. You don't have to be using fossil fuels to run cars at this point. Of course that technology exists, and everything's a lie at this point. Everything's a lie. So I'm going to go away and present this one. I'm going to read it, put some pictures up while I read it. My one, not final presentation of reality. I'm going to do this my entire life, but I just can't keep posting like I've been posting. Maybe once a week or something like that. Maybe a little bit more. If I see something quick, I'll pop in, say something, equating Nancy Pelosi's resurgence to the Wicked Witch of the West, something like that. Maybe have a little bit more fun with it. Maybe people that want to come here just want to release an outlet, a few laughs. But I can't, people have said that I have come up with some things that are unique perspectives on you.
What I know. Stand aside from the ego. Now's your day, turning tonight.
There's my buddy John. 316.
They find this world not exciting enough, so they want well-edited things. They want lots of B-roll footage, and it can set the mood, and it's art as well in a way. But at the same time, when so many people gravitate towards that, you see that people are hungering something more than this reality, which is not necessarily a healthy place for us to be in. So YouTube has that automatic effect on a person, whereas they lose a level of their organic nature because they're having to plan. But also humans in general tend to do that. Like I say, when you meet people, very rarely do we speak openly. Now, I'm good at it actually, and I have been for a while because I just got...
My YouTube ego. Tell me more about what you're good on.
doing this, what we
Go
call
to the book of
reality
Matthew,
construct, and I,
chapter 3:16.
how many of those do I have? And part of the reason me making this front part of the video is I want people to see who put this together. There's a lot of words and people reading words on the internet. Well, who's behind it? And for any asshole that would call this like a Masonic checkerboard, it's a freaking Christmas present. All right, and it's warm, and it's not exactly a checkerboard either. I mean, you're in this business. Yeah.
That's right. It's your Scottish plaid, meaning something completely different down a different rabbit hole. The Masonic checkerboard reference was a red herring.
Sick of the crap when I was in engineering myself, and I just said, why am I not just speaking from the present? And drugs and all of this stuff, I just surrendered to God. And when I surrendered to God, it took a while, but things started to go in the right direction. And I started to be successful. And then all of a sudden, everything I was touching was just, I was on a roll.
That's still, trying to reach out to Source, God, whatever, in whatever ways present themselves to you. So I'm curious what your route is, actually, because you talk from your spiritual perspective a lot, but I don't know exactly what it is, other than that there's a Talmudic thing involved. So if you'd like to elaborate on your own views, that'd be great for me.
I get mystified by this because, in my opinion, I'm a pretty mainstream Christian, but it's the way in which I communicate that a lot of people can't seem to see me as one, because I talk about all the various types of spirits. I talk about the spirit of confusion.
If this is your reality junkie is your thing, you can't you can't say anything incorrectly. You can't scratch your eye. You can't pick your nose on camera, or that's a symbol, a sign of some kind. So basically, folks, that most of you know me very well, but to those that are somewhat new, this channel, or where I have come on this journey, is this channel or me. What is this channel? Just me. It's like Max Egan's The Crow House, but at a different segment. It's like Max Egan's The Crow House.
Everything was working. I mean, look at everything that happened, and I'm saying this as humbly as I can, because after you've done all this failure in your life, and then all of a sudden you start to succeed, the most difficult thing about that is shutting up about it. It really is. You want to, you're proud of it. You want to be like, yeah, look what I did, look at it.
The spirit of pride, the way that I operate on a day-to-day, I tend to avoid dogmatic or doctrinal discussion. Like earlier in the chat, there was somebody insisting that if I don't open up with a prayer, that I'm not coming close to God. But the way that I see it, how could I have outreach with people who believe in shamanism if I open every show with dogmatic, you know what I mean? It's like,
But you examine almost everything, and everything breaks down. You have to come up with other conclusions, not just a little twist on some geopolitical story that The Economist magazine would come out with, of course, without all the truth of what he and many other channels present, like what's going on at the Mexican border is all orchestrated. Of course, of course. So we agree on all that, but
it all makes Trump appear to be the struggling underdog and allows all the dominoes to be put in place that can be pushed over later. But they've got to present Trump to be a truther and the one who is working for the people, even though he's working for Israel. Because if people don't see some sort of political turmoil happening and some sort of revolution against the deep state happening, then there's very likely to be a revolution on the ground at home. And the thing is that there's every reason for such a revolution to happen, and the reasons for such an action from the people are compounding by the day. I mean, there's so many things being revealed to them.
I mean, there's so many things being revealed.
You're I think what scratches to the fact that so many different types of people can still hang in there with me is the fact that I try not to put on that sense of false piety or false, humility. False humility is rampant in the Christian church.
Pretend the music's still there.
So I'm not sure if this will be out later today or tomorrow morning. Probably tomorrow morning. But in terms of all the answers no, but I think this philosophy presents us from spinning a lot of wheels. And it gets us from spinning wheels. And that's what this reality matrix is designed to do. Hey guys, it's Matt.
Hey Matt. See some more Baba.
But the thing is then, I could stop that by not involving myself in promoting what I've achieved with God. Now I used to do that, it's the solution to many of the problems on the planet is every human being being able to understand that and live in a way that allows them to become a highly evolved human being, so we don't have all the problems that we have.
What?
We don't have beaches strewn with litter and plastic like we have at the moment.
Hold on, I missed it.
That being the knowledge of the sacred secretion.
Oh, okay.
Along with other messengers online as well. Bill Donahue, Santos Bonacci, and I'm sure there are others who I don't know about. But having that knowledge which you know, undoubtedly, as it says in the Bible, Satan will go after the seed of Christ. The Christ seed is the secretion. It will go after putting people into the lower nature of itself. And you know it's the solution to many of the problems on the planet is every human being being able to understand that and live in a way that allows them to become a highly evolved human being, so we don't have all the problems that we have. We don't have beaches strewn with litter and plastic like...
Jump cut. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Especially Shoni. Hi, Shoni.
Part about it is that people, when you attempt to bring them this information, they very often view you as being someone who is scared of technology. And they say, well, it's so ironic you're trying to warn us about technology, but here you are using the internet to do it. The thing is, there's nothing wrong with technology. The problem is the fact that...
The thing is that we're all trapped in an entertainment matrix, and to reach the people trapped in the entertainment matrix, to feed off them for donations and such, you have to stick your face in the matrix and say, here I am, donate. And that's what we use technology for. Play.
Who are making those videos on YouTube, can we not say that they were blank slates at some point? And like a computer, they were programmed with images and sound bites, with the actor Keanu Reeves. Just like a computer, the same people who are calling people NPCs, there's one set of data points that we can connect back to and say, all of these people were inspired by the same movie. All of these people are making this the foundation on which they're building their church.
I don't want to go back anymore, Matt. Give me some master frequency. 1122 because it hurts.